Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason back in the building. We about to wrap it up. We about to wrap it up for the week. We're going to do this real quick. Tonight's topic, come and talk to me. A deeper look at effective nonviolent communication in relationships. So what I'm going to do is, last night we had a caller call in. Her name was Keisha from Las Vegas. And it got kind of crazy. We're going to play the whole call, and we're going to break the whole call down, and we're going to talk about nonviolent communication in relationships. But first, let's analyze, because I want everybody to know, man, this is a safe space. I want you to be able to call in. I want you to be able to share. You can ask me things, but some rules have to be established. No disrespect. Now, Andy, you got it queued? Let's hear this call. Let's get on the phone lines. We got callers. Everybody been on the same amount of time. Let's go to Keisha from Las Vegas, Nevada. Keisha. Yeah, hell is low. Welcome to the show.
Okay, hi. So I want to preface this with, I'm not trying to be combative or negative, but I would like to ask a question first before I go into my deal.
Sure. You can always ask a question.
So my question to you is, you stated that you had your own issues that you needed to work on and all these things. And I would like to first and foremost understand, where are you at with that? Are you in a successful, healthy relationship currently?
Yeah, I am.
So you're married?
And I love the question. Not only am I in a successful, healthy relationship, my whole life details are in my first book, The Relationship Dismount. And I covered the whole gamut. Breakups, never been married, but breakups, yes. So that's fair. That's a fair question, and I appreciate it.
Right, because the narrative right now, from my understanding and being on it, is about the actual person having the self-sabotaging themselves. But I think there's also another side to that in regards to running into people who are sabotaging your growth that you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. So from my experience, if you're doing all of the steps that you're saying, dealing with your childhood trauma, dealing with your family issues, etc., and then you're running into people who haven't dealt with theirs, therein lies the sabotage when you are not actually being a part of it. And then you go into, not you per se, but people say you attract what you are and the things that you need to work on. Mm-hmm. But at this point, I'm starting to think that's kind of not true at the same time, because you can have a positive outlook and a positive mind, but the world is so huge and you're going to continue to run into these people. It's just not adding up to me particularly, because for myself, just speaking for myself, mm-hmm. working on myself for the past 5-10 plus years, I've seen, especially because I date exclusively black men, mm-hmm. that is that is what I'm starting to see a theme, whether it's the single mother situation or the actual self-worth or the fact that the way society is set up. I don't think black men are in a way know how to deal with a healthy person coming to them because they're so used to dealing with women with trauma.
So let me walk with you here. Number one, especially like in relationship work, right? You tend to stay away from generalities or absolutes, right? Or you stay general, you don't say absolutes, right? Like black men are. You don't do that, right? That's just like saying in communication, it's not you. It's, well, this is how I see it. This is how I perceive it. So first we have to correct languaging, right? And yes, you outlined that you exclusively date brothers. Well, if you exclusively date brothers, then you're dating a body of people who, let's just be honest. Let's just be 100% honest. You know, at the bottom of every statistical category in America. So if you go into it thinking I'm a get something great, well, now you're going to have to factor in how was he raised? What's his educational background? Where does he work? Does he have both parents? If he did have both parents, were they healthy? You understand what I'm saying? If you're not doing all of that work, trying to figure out who and what you're dealing with, then it's hard to go in with an expectation. That would mean you're sabotaging yourself by not doing the work, right? So, again, I would say if you're going to date a brother, right? Let me ask, what happened in the last relationship you were in? Just tell me. What was his background? Where was he from?
He was from Nigeria. He was about 10 years older than me. We dated for some time. So I thought we were dating exclusively, but turned out he was actually married, and I didn't know the entire time until after we broke up. So therein lies another issue that. So you wasn't even dating. You wasn't even dating an American brother. You was dating an African brother from Nigeria. They got bread. When you look at the most breaded up immigrants in America, no judgment, Jonah, of course. He was.
Yes, the Nigerians got the most money of all immigrants in America.
He was a doctor. Yeah, he was a doctor. Yeah. All right. Aside from that, but my point is, what led me to even deciding to date an African was my try something different outside of an American black man to get a kind of a different type of deal. So, but
let's do this piece by piece, right? We can't do the whole story, so let's do it piece by piece. You're having difficult relationships with brothers, correct? Yes or no? Let's get really specific. You're having difficult relationships with African American brothers, correct? Yes or no?
I guess you can put in a category difficult.
And then, okay, maybe not difficult, challenging. Let's do challenging.
Okay, yeah.
All right,
a better word.
You're having challenging relationships with African American brothers. And then, to avoid the challenge, you tried something different and still got a challenge. So when I say you date yourself, I'm going to say, how do you cheat on you? Do you have a journal on you? How did you attract the cheater? See, oftentimes people think, watch this, if you don't show yourself, if you have negative beliefs about yourself or limiting beliefs about yourself, you think a lot of people think they're going to attract the exact same thing they do to themselves. But what they don't realize is they are attracting a vibrational match. So if you lie to yourself, if your self-esteem is low, if self-worth is low, you can't then turn around and say all African American brother, so let me go date an African and then get the same kind of vibrational match from the Nigerian brother.
Well, can I say this? That hasn't been the challenge in all of my relationships. I'm not trying to just see what you're saying, but that's where I'm confused.
No.
As far as when you're
I'll
saying,
explain it to you because I understand where you're going. You've kind of reiterated
but
this
may
a
I
couple of
finish?
times. So let me explain it to you.
Wow. Okay.
Okay? Let me explain it to you. You don't necessarily get exactly the same thing. Like, for instance, if a person is abusing themselves through negative self-talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Through condemnation of self, through the rejection of self, they attract vibrational match. And that vibrational match can appear in many different ways. It doesn't have to be domestic abuse. It could be emotional abuse. It could be financial abuse. It could be neglect. But it's a vibration. Do you understand what I'm saying? Doesn't mean you're going to get exactly what you do to yourself. Like if you disrespect yourself, you're just going to attract a vibrational match that disrespects you. And that form of disrespect may take on different forms. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So I'm just to reiterate what you're saying. You're basically saying that not because I haven't attracted cheaters the entire time. That's not what the deal is. It's the fact that there's a certain level or deficiency within myself that's attracting a lower vibration of some form or fashion, that's attracting something that's not necessarily matching up with my forward vibration that I'm trying to create.
I love it. Now, let me ask you this. Can you name 3 character traits that you have? I can name one and I don't even know you. But can you name 3 character traits that you have that makes you unrelatable and undateable?
Wow. No, but can I hear yours first?
No,
Like
this is about
less
you.
than 5 minutes on the phone and you're already saying.
No, this is about
Hilarious.
you. This is about you, love.
Hilarious.
Can you name 3 character traits?
That you said unrelatable.
That makes you unrelatable or undateable. As a matter of fact, let's not do 3. Let's do 1.
Just what I hear a lot that I think that I'm better than people.
You hear that from other people?
My whole life.
But what do you think? I'm saying not what other people tell you. Now that's one thing, right? That's one thing. That's one data stream. Other people say this. Okay, cool. I'm saying that
you said what makes me unrelatable.
Yes, that you have identified within yourself.
I think I come off condescending.
Yes.
I think that's because of my tone and my delivery.
So your tone and delivery is off. Correct. I agree.
Yeah,
You came in sideways, so I had to get a little stiff with you. Like, you got to prove to me that you deserve to even be talking to me. That's what you said. Are you married? Where's your relation? Who are you to be asking me anything personal about me? Ooh. But see, if I would have did that, we would have been wrong. But I'm just saying, hun.
No, I think that is a warranted question if you are on like a talk show.
Not necessarily.
Not
necessarily.
Advice.
Not necessarily.
Because I would like to know your background first.
Read the book.
You provide.
Did you get any of the books?
Okay. Well, I got all of that, but.
No. You don't get to marginalize, minimize, and skip what I'm telling you to do. Go read the books. See, the people who listen to the show, they done read the books, right?
Maybe, yeah, I feel you. But this is making me want to dive deeper into possibly reading the book.
Has somebody ever told you
discourse with it?
Let me ask you this question. Has somebody ever told you were entitled?
Not in that particular word, but yeah.
Ma'am, what word did they use?
Spoiled. I mean, I grew up like.
Wait. Keisha, you got the great call. I love you, Keisha. When we come forward, more from Las Vegas, Nevada. This is so fine.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on Kbla Talk 1580.
Gentlemen, is your sock collection in need of something new? More color, more flavor, more self-expression? Well, visit Made Man Sockery, men's sockwear for the professional, the trendsetter, the creative. And for all KBLA Talk 1580 listeners, Made Man Sockery is offering free shipping on your first order with code KBLA. Use Google to locate all Made Man Sockery channels, such as Direct Site, Instagram, or Facebook. And don't forget to like, follow, and share.
Hello?
Hi, Amy. I'm a helpful Southern California Honda person, and I'm calling to give you a random act of helpfulness.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, we heard you could use some help.
Yes. A few months ago, I injured my ankle. I tore my Achilles and a couple ligaments in my foot and have been on crutches ever since.
Wow.
And my house has just kind of gotten into a big mess.
Yeah.
So I could really use your guys' help.
A deeper look at effective nonviolent communication. Now, before we came forward, we were listening to a call that I got yesterday from a sister, good sister out of Vegas by the name of Keisha. Here's the second half of that call. Then we're going to jump into the topic. Nothing but love. This is a no judgment zone. Hey, listen. We got Keisha on the line from Las Vegas. Keisha, nothing but love, baby girl. You can call in and ask me anything. But tone and delivery matters. How you present what you want to know matters. Respect matters. So, again, you know, you can ask me anything, you can ask me whatever, but tone and delivery. So, when we, you know, last spoke, we were asking you, can you identify one thing in your character that makes you unrelatable or undateable? That's where we were.
Uh-huh. And I think I answered that for you. So now is it possible? I spoke about my condescending tone and delivery. That's what I brought up.
Okay, good. I appreciate it.
And then I would like for you, in return, to tell me what you said that you noticed in the less than 5-minute conversation we've had. That you picked out.
The same thing. The tone and the delivery, right? The tone and the delivery. It's like how you present what you were saying. That's why I started when I came back with that in particular. It's the tone and the delivery, and it can't come from a space like you can't talk to me like, or I shouldn't have to listen to you, or this is a radio and this is entertainment or whatever, and you shouldn't be giving advice unless I know about it. Well, I'm going to say, go get my book. Everything is in my book. But if you're going to
I didn't say that.
listen to me. Listen. If you're going to come on and you're going to present, you have to present it in a way that's palatable to me. So I appreciate you for asking, and you know what, you can call anytime you want. I love this exchange. Please call back tomorrow. I'll be here. You ready to fight? I'm ready to fight. Let's do it together, Keisha.
To fight? I mean,
not really. I don't want to fight. You know I don't want to fight, Keisha.
So this is the thing, Zoe. So I may not have read your book, but to be honest, I followed you for quite a few years now, and I listened to all your. Yeah, I do actually. Really.
So which show did you follow?
All of them. The ones when you would have Bobby. It's like you changed different locations.
Yeah, the Zoe What show.
You changed different studios like over the years.
Yeah.
Even when you're on Corey Holcomb and all that stuff.
Dash Radio, all these different places.
These years, I'm familiar with what you speak on. I may have not read your book per se, but I do follow you. That's why I felt the need to call in today, because I'm like, why not? But the fact that my tone and delivery has been the topic of conversation versus what I'm actually saying, and I think that's another issue that I would like to highlight in this conversation as far as dealing with black men, and this is not personal to you. I think in general, you guys kind of have an issue with, and it's called, being combative or being, a angry black woman, which is not my issue. Like, I grew up in a 2-parent household. I have my sister who I love. I don't have any daddy issues. I'm not angry at black men. But I do find it that I have these exchanges with black men because it's the battle of the mind. You did a little bit talking over me as well, not letting me finish in my sentences and things like that. But
it's radio. Let me just say, it's radio. I get to do that.
Like you're doing now.
Right, because it's my show. Like I could say, you know what, you've been on long enough. It's time to go. I can do that because it's my show. Now, I'm not going to do that, and I'm giving you time to speak, but at the same time, you don't get to go on a diatribe, a whole soliloquy, right? You have to keep it short and concise. But because you're not like an official guest on the show, and this isn't YouTube, I can't sit here and just let you talk ad infinitum. So again, no disrespect meant. However, whatever you're going through, right, you can sense it. Everybody can sense it. Everybody's like, what in the world? Let me just say, Keisha, keep listening, keep following, and you might learn something. Like Bill Cosby used to say on Fat Albert. I appreciate the call. Thank you so much.
Why do I have to be going through something?
Because,
whatever.
I'm
not mad. I have a great life. Like, it's no problem. I'm just trying to, have a conversation. But it's always, as a
engineer said, what do you really want? What do you want? Why are you here? You here to argue? Because I'm not going to argue with you. But I appreciate the call. Thank you. You brought Las Vegas into the building. We appreciate you, Keisha. Call back tomorrow. I want everybody to call in and critique me. How did I handle it? Did I disrespect the young lady? The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Did I disrespect her? She was on for 16 minutes. What phone call on a talk radio station gives you 16 minutes to not have a point? Did I disrespect her? I need to know. I want to get better. I'm not perfect. I need to know. But what I will say is the very questions that I asked her, I asked the brother the day, the exact questions. Can you name 3 things in your character that makes you undateable and unrelatable? Nobody called and said, hey, Zoe's going off on this dude. So I use the exact same questioning, the exact same line of questioning, right? Again, I want to know, do I need a different line of questioning for women? See, what I'm not going to do is placate to a narrative. You want somebody to tell you the truth? this is that show, right? You want somebody who's been through hell and high water. Life has kicked him in the head over and over and over again, and he found a way to survive, and he has a few jewels to share. And the guy, right? You can call me anytime you want, and you can ask me anything you want, but you got to be respectful of the platform. That's all, right? I gave that young lady 16 minutes. So I felt like today we got to do something around communication, especially between black men and black women, because we seem to get it wrong with each other. We come into the conversation with our fists balled up. Now, I've already told you the reason why the crabs in the barrel works is because black people are the only people we can front on, we can stunt on, we can clown. You can't clown the descendants of the establishment. Do you understand? The ones that got most of their wealth from the backs of your ancestors. You can't clown them. There's no wealth, there's no home you can buy that will that would allow you to clown the descendants of the establishment. So I'm coming to you and saying, hey, how can we improve our communication? Come and talk to your brother Zoe. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. I want to hear from women. Ladies, did I handle that properly? A deeper look at effective nonviolent communication. Was I disrespectful? Was I condescending? Right? What did I marginalize her? Did I minimize her? Somebody call me and let me know. True or false? Is it easier for hurt people to share their hurts with other hurt people? When we come forward, the voice of reason is going to the phone lines.
Hey, all your body, I'm blessed that you have it.
people weren't happy about it. But those same some people didn't say nothing when I went at the brother the day before. I went at the brother with the same questioning. Hey, do y'all remember that movie? What's the name of that movie where the little boy finds an egg and it turns out to be a dragon, and then he meets this dude who used to be a dragon. Is it called Dragon Rider? Anyway, he meets the guy, and the guy teaches him, oh, you the next dragon rider, and he teaches him how to ride. But the guy is ostracized, right? The reason why the guy is ostracized is because he accidentally killed his dragon. Don't you know that most mentors are broken? Most mentors have sinned. I'm a sinner. I'm not afraid. Listen, I am not afraid to acknowledge that I'm a sinner. I've sinned gravely. Do you understand me? And this is why I'm telling y'all. That's yesterday's show was so important when we said, no, make sure the weapon that is formed against you isn't an internal weapon that will keep you from prospering. Understand? I am the wounded healer. I am. Ain't nothing perfect about me in any way, shape, or form. This is why I want to have this conversation about how we talk to each other moving forward. Because there's a sector of men out there in the hemisphere. The hemisphere, you get hemisphere. Y'all like to play on words? No? Okay, the manosphere, not the hemisphere. Okay, cool. All right, there's a sector of men out there that are mad with sisters. There's a sector of sisters out there. Yes, Eragon. That was it. Eragon. That was the movie. There's a sector of sisters out there that are mad at brothers. And there's this perpetual war that you broke and dusty, or you use a 304. And there's this war going on, and the communication is poor. Tavis Smiley gave me a quote from the great Maya Angelou, because this is the process that we're participating in. This quote that was given to Tavis Smiley is, processing pain without perpetuating pain is a rough business. Maya Angelou. See, I want to have this discussion because I know we struggle as a people. So we need to get into the studies of nonviolent communication. This is an actual book that I want people to check out. The book is written by Marshall B. Rosenberg, Ph.D., and Deepak Chopra writes the foreword. The book is called Nonviolent Communication, A Language of Life, Life-Changing Tools for Healthy Relationships, Nonviolent Communication. The sister missed her conversation by saying, I don't mean to be combative or disrespectful. She came in and then commenced to, it's tone and delivery. It's not what you asked. It's how you act. And we need to learn how to talk to each other in a different way. I got to get to these calls right now. Let's do this right now. Chase from Tennessee, talk to me, man. I could have done better. I cut the girl at the end. I got to own that. I was stepping on her toward the end. Talk to me, Chase.
Man, I thought you showed incredible patience, man. I think you showed incredible patience. I think she got to speak her piece. She got to speak her mind. And actually, the only time that she was quiet is when you asked her to look at herself.
Ooh.
That was the only time you got her to shut up, is when you asked her to be accountable. And I think that's the problem with, a lot of modern, women these days. It's like when you ask them to look in the mirror, they start deflecting and asking about you, the messenger or whatever. They start trying to check your credentials and, what I'm saying, want to look at you instead of looking at them. So,
and that's
I
fine.
think you were patient.
That's okay. I mean, I did the show.
Nah.
I did the show. The message and the messenger are flawed for me, to let people know that you don't get to come here and put me on a pedestal. I ain't gonna let you do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, good stuff, Chase, man. Thank you for bringing the volunteer state, Tennessee, into the building. We're
Yes,
trying
sir.
to change the game. We appreciate you, bro.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah, Leo from Dayton, Ohio. Can you holla at me? Handle it,
What
Leo.
up, bro,
Wait a
man?
minute.
You
Wait a minute.
handled
Hold
it.
on.
You
Hold
handled
on. Hold on. You from Dayton. I know
I'm
you
from
just.
St. Louis, Missouri. But I
Oh,
live
wait a
in
minute. Now you really trouble. I got to preface you. You from St. Louis? Don't cuss.
Reggie.
I know you gonna cuss. Don't.
Nah, man.
All right, brother. Talk to me,
I-
man.
Nah, like it's just like what you said. You said everything that I don't need to say anything. You said, look, hurt people, and you telling me she called in for no reason. She had to want questions. She wanted to know why her relationships and stuff was going like that, and you gave her the metaphysical or spiritual, or like you was trying to get in depth to the problem, but she wouldn't want to look in the mirror, like you said. Relationships are like mirrors, and she didn't really like want to contrast with that because she was trying to be difficult. And look, she said she got a good life and everything. Maybe she just need me to holler at her. You know what I'm saying? She want to be difficult. She wants somebody to listen to her and get smacked. That's probably about it. Like, I don't know what she's looking for, but if she wanted somebody to, like you was doing, listening and then trying to answer her back, like you cut her off, but you cut her off so she can, dissect what she's talking about. You wasn't like nobody putting you on them pedestals, though. Everybody know nobody's perfect. We works in progress. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you was doing the right thing, and she knew that. At the end, there's no combative about it. Like, you a man. You was just telling her how it is. But at the end of the day, we are having problems with our women, but they ain't really with our women. It's with this system.
Bro, I was told I sound like I'm part of the patriarchy. The way I was talking to her, man.
Nah, you did your thing, though, man. I don't know how better you could have did it. Would you want to live 20 more minutes?
Man, they made me sound like I was Colonel Sanders, like I was from Kentucky. I was a white man with a long bow tie on. Now you gonna get over there and you gonna bale that hay. I didn't say anything like that, brother.
But yeah, at the end of the day, like you said, hurt people. And you telling me she called in for no reason? Nah, she was tapping. Everybody saying she was tapping at the end. Like, at the end of the day, you trying to listen to what she, was going on. But that's all I had to say about it. I'm like, you did right. I ain't see no problem. If I do, somebody else let me know. Get the other callers, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, good brother. We appreciate it. Thank you. What's our time? Oh, we got 30 seconds. Okay, that was Dayton, Ohio, but I see Baltimore coming into the building. The phone lines are open. Ladies, I need to hear from ladies. I talked to a sister today in the cigar lounge. She said, boy, you handled it perfectly. I need to know, ladies, did I handle it right? Call me on the VOR tonight.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
just as broken as you are, man. But I don't know what happened. I don't know if God did it to me. Oludumare. I don't know. Allahu subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't know. Yahweh. I don't know. Brahma. I don't know. Amun Ra. I don't know who put it in me. But something causes me to learn from my brokenness. And then I get on the radio and share it. So I don't know. We have to do better in the way we speak to each other. I got the whole phone lines was lit with women. I think they're dropping now. I'm gonna bring all the sisters on, but we got phone. Every line was filled up with women. Now, I need to hear from the ladies. But before I get to that, real quick tips: empathetic speaking and listening in communication. You got to listen with your heart and not with your mind. Empathetic speaking and listening. You've got to be attentive, focused. You can't be distracted, right? You find a common connection that exists beyond the problem when you're working through the problem. Don't participate in conveyor belt listening, i.e. just waiting your turn to speak. Can't participate in that. Listen to comprehend. I can make space for you to be heard without having to agree with you or accept your truth as my own. I don't know. Can I get that jewel again? I can make space for you to be heard without having to agree or accept your truth, i.e. perception, perspective, as my own. Let's get the callers there. Nikki from Moore. Nikki, bring B More in here real quick.
Hey, Zoe. I just wanted, before I get started, I wanted to let you know that I called a couple times and the phone rang and then hang up, and a couple people in the chat are saying the same thing. So just wanted to make you aware.
Thank you, love. We sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I called back.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you calling back. Talk to me. Did I do it right? Did I handle it?
You
correct?
did it. You did it perfectly. I think you weren't the Zoe that I know from Zoe What didn't show up.
Ooh.
And it could have been way worse.
Listen,
than what.
listen, my birthday is Monday. I'm Gemini. I'm Gemini. There's two of us.
My daughter's birthday is Monday. My daughter turns 21 on Monday.
Come on, there's two of us. So there's one dude that'll show up, and then there's another dude that's going to try to help you grow up. Continue, Nikki.
I wanted to say the audacity of a caller to come and demand something of you. Give me your credentials when you're calling into my platform. I think that we could have gone deeper. I think probably need a female co-anchor or bring one of the moderators on. I'm one of the moderators, let us say what you can. Because the audacity that you could come in and try to run my credentials when I'm offering you free game. And I have to say there are several platforms, even that I follow that could appear to be a gender war, but this isn't one of them. You give it fair, you give it even, and please don't mistake this for people trying to bring you down on someone else's level. You do not do that. So please understand that there are a couple people out here that's a little lost that haven't followed your work. And as she said, she didn't read the book she needs to. But we that follow you know that you are equal opportunists.
Hey!
So just keep on going and doing what you do, brother.
We appreciate you, Nikki. You brought Baltimore into the building. When we come forward, we got Indianapolis, we got LA in the building. These are all ladies. Ladies, call in. Listen, you don't have to agree with me. Tell me if I did something wrong. I know I cut her off quite a bit toward the end of the call, but it was 16 minutes later. When we come forward, more from the female callers. without judgment? Can you listen to something that you disagree with without pushing back? Do you know how to do that? Right? It's very important that we as a community learn how to talk to each other. You know, and for many people it's very difficult. Marshall B. Rosenberg, this is the author of Nonviolent Communication, A Language of Life. At the core of all anger is a need that is not being fulfilled. And we know in our community there are many needs that are not being fulfilled right now. Right? I want you guys to get this book, Nonviolent Communication, A Language of Life. All right? When you're trying to communicate to somebody, observe without judgment, then recap, right? This is the nonviolent communication process, right? It begins with neutral observation. Well, Krishnamurti said it 100 years ago. The highest form of intelligence is to be able to observe without judgment, right? You should be able to describe your emotions, right? Not positions. You should be able to talk about feelings, not issues. Oftentimes we're in the conversation to be right. Let's see, and I always say, listen to this part. Describe emotions, not positions. Talk feelings, not issues. Why is that? Because the issue, right, and the positions are points that we argue over because we want to be right. Look at the first part of that. Describe emotions and talk feelings. Why? Because if you describe emotions and talk feelings, now you're not worried about being right. You're more so focused on being aligned. So sometimes things are written in a certain way. We get a little confused and we go, well, what did they mean by that? Wait. Let me say it again. Describe emotions, not positions. Talk feelings, not issues. See, the issue and the position, you can fight over that all day and you can be right about that and still be out of alignment with the person you're talking to because you didn't deal with the emotions and the feelings. I got so much to talk about. Listen, when we come forward, I miss all my ladies that are on the phone right now. I appreciate y'all for calling in. We are going to talk to you, but you know how this last segment is. I had to talk through it to get us to the top of the next hour. When we forward, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Indianapolis, we're going to talk to you so we can understand where I need to go.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
It's important that we learn how to talk to each other. It's important that we learn how to listen to each other without projecting. Oof. I know. That's hard to do. How can you convey a clear message without judgment? How can you convey a correct message without anger? A complete message without disrespect? A precise message without condescension? A reliable message, right? Without marginalization, right? Are you open enough to share with your partner in that way? Are you? Do you want to be open? Many people don't even want to be open. I'm going to the phone lines. Let me hit you with this. I want you to understand. Jiddu Krishnamurti, my favorite philosopher. If we try to listen, we find it extraordinarily difficult because we are always projecting our opinions and ideas, our prejudices, our background, our inclinations, our impulses. When they dominate, we harden at all to what is being said. One listens and therefore learns only in a state of silence. The background of your holographic relationship event horizon has to be silent. You know, all that has to be quiet. One listens and therefore learns only in silence, in which this whole background is in obeyance, is quiet. Then it seems to me it is possible to communicate. Only when everything you've been through doesn't have a, hey, I'm listening to Zoe and I've been through so much. I'm a lead, I'm a project with what I've been through, and I've heard it all before. There was a guy on the radio talking before. I'm not talking crazy. That's not my spirit. That's not my work. My daughter won't let me do it. Shout out to my baby boo. Anyway, let's get to the callers. Let's go to Jim in Los Angeles. Jim, speak on it.
Hi, Zoe. Hi, Zoe. How are you? First and foremost, I want to say that I'm a woman, of course. I felt no offensiveness, and I absolutely love your show. I literally come for the red pill, literally. I come to just simply hear the knowledge and the truth. Now, when you play the young lady's playback, I listened to her again because I had checked out way before your 16 minutes was up, before you started. I'm like, okay, enough's enough. She was just on and on. But she was also, remember what the show was about. The weapon, we should make sure we're not formed. The weapon formed against us is causing us not to prosper. Mm-hmm. She immediately started forming those weapons against her. Immediately. She started off with conflict. I don't want conflict, but I got a full armor suit on, and here I come for you.
Wow.
Full armor suit. Then, once she came forward, she came in the attack of the black man. Then, I don't want any conflict. I'm constantly putting all these weapon forms against me. She's constantly doing exactly what we're working about, not even knowing. After she went in an attack for the black man, who she then later took that back and said, well, I don't have any challenges. It's not against anybody. I mean, what do you mean I have challenges against? I guess you could say it. You started off with that. Then you let her talk. Then she came in for you. Well, what are your credentials? You know, who do you think you are in order to have this conversation? The conversation was a neutral conversation about, do we have weapons? Are we being weapons formed against us? Is it causing us not to prosper? So she totally flew past that us and went to everyone else, the black man and this man and that and you. She came in for you. Like, who do you get to say about weapon formed against us? After she went in for you, then she came back and still was talking about, well, you know, people think that I think I'm better than people, which makes a lot of sense why she came for you. Mm. Because what's happening was, I think I'm better, and he sounds like I believe how I sound. So let me come in and say, hey, who do you think you are?
Wow.
So it's really projection. And then when you double back after you just couldn't take it anymore, you tried to get her to hear what she was saying. And she didn't even want to acknowledge it. She started getting offensive. Aha, oh, wow. Oh, yes. You know, doing condescending remarks as if you were attacking her. But she was literally hearing her own voice attack herself.
Mm.
And that's when things got a little shaky. I see that you're like, okay, wait a minute. Then she wanted to bring in this man that's better than the black man who's a Nigerian man. And then it's his fault that she was with him in a relationship and that she found out, why didn't you know the man was married? Because you've got it going on. People think you're all that, right? You've got a great life. So why are you not aware of that, ma'am? And then now it's the Nigerian's fault. And I was thinking, hey, Nigerians can have a couple of wives. He got money. Maybe he could have been one of his wives. Why you didn't go with that? Why you stuck your wife? You know, you messed up your queendom. You could have been one of those queens.
Right. It's no judgment, though.
So,
It's no judgment,
you know,
though.
no judgment. That's not a judgment. It's the truth. That's my truth.
Right.
I see that they have more than one wife.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to say that you did nothing wrong. And I stand with, I think that was Nicole, who said, she's a moderator, who said, bring some women in there just in case for backup, in case there's women in the building that feels some sort of way, that you'd have backup next to you saying, hey, wait a minute. And because if we speak this, it's okay. But because you said it, it seemed a little bit, you know, awkward. But you were right on point all the way.
I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Thank you, Jim. You brought Los Angeles into the building. When we come forward, I'm going to Atlanta to talk to Vanetta. We lost our girl from Indianapolis. Call us back. 1-800-920-1580. The VOR is on fire tonight.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Why did I put it in my talk playlist? Because he talked about one of the most amazing nights in his life. His grandmother was in a car accident. And his grandmother was in a car accident. She passes. He meets Eminem the same night. His son was born on the same night in the same hospital that his grandmother passed in. He didn't know that his grandmother was there because she was in a car accident. He gets there. He sees his uncle when he gets out of the elevator. He goes, "What? You don't know this? What happened?" Whoop. His girl is on another floor in labor, and his grandmother passes, and the baby is born virtually at the same time. And he meets Marshall Mathers the same night. He had to go he had to leave the hospital where his grandmama was in a fatal car accident and where his baby is being born. He had to leave the hospital to go do a show. Had he opted not to do the show, he don't meet Eminem. Just amazing record, man. Communication is powerful, man, and we got to learn how to communicate with each other, to each other. We have to learn that it's not just waiting your turn to get yours off. Most people, like I said, do that conveyor belt listening. Most people listen the projection of what they've been through. So they definitely can't hear you. Most people don't hear from the perspective of what need. Listen to that. Most people are not listening from the perspective of how can I help you? What do you need? Is it possible to be unapologetically open and respectful to what your partner is trying to say to you? True or false, it's easier for hurt people to share their hurts with other hurt people. Both sides of this black man and woman war behave like little traumatized kids. Our fists are always balled up when it comes to talking to each other. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. Let's get to the phone lines. Deanna from Indianapolis, let's get in here.
Hey, hello.
Talk to me, because I got to get Vanetta in here, too. The ladies are in the building.
Hey, happy birthday, by the way. I got twins that are Geminis, too. A boy and a girl, so happy birthday. Gemini love.
Gemini love in the building. Yes.
Right. But I just wanted to say you are so on point with the communication. That is one of my biggest issues with my husband and I. You've been amazing with that journey of trying to figure out where to go with that, and still a long way to go. I'm learning I have a lot of insecurities and a lot of expectations that are unrealistic. So I've learned a lot about that one. But I called in to talk about the girl that you was talking about, Akeisha.
Well, go ahead.
I think you said was not her real name.
It wasn't her real name.
Yeah, I know, right? But one of the things I think she was saying that she felt like she was spoiled, she entitled. She didn't come across as kind of arrogant, but I think she's just one of those people that, like most of us, are just not ready to hear our flaws. I got a lot of feedback, and I don't know why.
I don't know either. You sound great to me.
Oh, all right, bet. And yes, sorry that I hung up. I need y'all not to go in ham on everybody when they hang up, because it was just I need to use the bathroom. But I really didn't have a whole lot to say. I just feel like she ain't ready yet. I find it hard to believe that she's been following you for a long time, like she said, because in order for her to do that, unless she really, really is contrary to all the information that she's receiving, and she's fighting against it instead of trying to receive it. That's probably what a lot of her issue is.
Right.
That judgment. Participation trophy thing. But yes, no judgment.
Yeah,
no judgment.
Because in love,
like I said,
I wish she would call in. In love, she could call in. I would embrace her.
I know, right? I hope she does, and I hope she listens continuously, and learn those lessons. But you were saying that one of the things that, are you able to listen without wanting to respond? That's a hard thing to do. It is hard. It is really hard. And listen without your perspective. If you got any tips on that, I'm willing to listen to that too.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my biggest issues is I know that communication is my problem because a lot of the things that I say to people, even though my intention is genuine and it's usually in love, it isn't received that way. So I'm struggling with that. So if you got any tips on that, that'd be good too.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Deanna, I appreciate you for calling in. Thank you, love. We're going to talk about it tonight.
Right on.
Right on.
All right. And you have a happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Vanetta from Atlanta, get up in here. Let's talk a little bit.
Thank you.
Hi, Joe.
You got to turn your radio down in the background, love.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. Talk to me. Truth about Zoe, a real truth. I'm about to, first time ever, I'm about to reveal a Zoe Williams communication flaw. To be honest with you, this is hard. Y'all ready? I don't like to talk when I get off the radio. I got all of the tools in my head. Right off the top of the dome, I could be like, but when I get off, I want to talk. So, I try to, Tavis was with me yesterday, man. We went to the cigar lounge. Right? After I get off the radio, I go silent. The Gemini thing, man. I am extrovert, introvert. On radio, extrovert. In person, introvert. I get quiet. I'm the dude that you can't hear come in and you don't hear leave. I'm that guy. I'm Batman. Disappear. So that's one of my problems. And listen, this is about transparency. This is what I want y'all to know. Y'all can call in and talk to a wounded healer. Right? Sometimes I'm impatient. I'm an impatient listener. Get to what you're trying to say. Right? Because, I did that to the sister yesterday. Right? I was listening and I was like, I get the gist. Right? I could do better with that. Right? Sometimes I can be devoid of empathy because I'm so mental, I'll be in my head and I'll just be listening. Right? Or observing. Sometimes I can just separate myself from a situation. Story time with Zoe Williams. I'm going to go to the phone lines in 2 seconds. I remember one time I should have choked out a nurse. I should have choked this nurse out. Oh, he's patriarchal, he's violent. No, this was something that was happening against a black mother. And you know, just like Serena is pushing, they don't take care of black mothers in hospital giving birth to babies. They don't really do a good job. So when my oldest son was being born, I was in the hospital, and this emotional disconnect that I can do. She was this is my oldest son knew. His mother was pushing, and this is her first child, so apparently it was hurting. So she grabs the nurse by the arm for, support. But she grabbed her arm, and the nurse grabbed her by the neck. And I didn't do anything. I was just in the moment watching the boy come out. And I caught the tail end of her grabbing his mom by the neck. I looked over, but I was disconnected. And later, after the boy is born and everything is cool, I was really salty that I didn't respond in that moment. So sometimes I can disconnect. And I find that when I'm in a traumatic situation or a difficult situation, I tend to just zone out. I'm aware, but I'm not aware of feeling. It's a real ill thing. I wanted to choke that lady. I'm still mad at my son is 25 years old. He's a professional basketball player now. I'm still mad. I'm sorry. Okay, let's get to the phone lines. Velvet from San Diego.
Hey, Zoe.
Yeah, I just gave up too much information. It's fine. But go ahead.
Hey, first time I've talked on the phone. I bought your book. I emailed with you at times.
Mm-hmm.
You talked to my man, Katie from San Diego last month, and you were impressed with him. So
nice.
Just wanted to call and let you know the best way that we communicate. We listen to you often. And I fully submit to him. I obey him. I worship him. I respect him. And when you do that with your man and you let your man be a man, then you dub him your king. You show him he's worthy and you follow suit like that. It just keeps conflict down in your house. It's just easier. He has full submission for me. And he actually nicknamed me his Dave, his down ass. Can I say ass on the radio? Down ass slave. I literally do everything for him.
Okay. There are going to be some women here at KBLA that's going to be like, no, not her.
Please let me holler at them. Let me school them and take them to school because it's not happy wife, happy life. It's happy man, life is grand in our house. That's how it rolls.
All right. Well, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the call. Thank you for getting in here. Let's get C-Dub from Sacramento up in here. C-Dub.
Man, Zoe, it's great to hear you.
Thank you, brother.
I have to say that you've really changed my life. And so I've read your books, I've signed up for your classes, and I'm trying to get my family on it, but it's a little bit harder. But just need to give you your roses now. So,
man, I appreciate
on the topic,
Mm-hmm.
But on the topic, one thing that I guess I'll start with the perspective of like, what could you have changed? And I said in the chat, but I felt like she was spiritual bait for you because as soon as she started questioning you, and this was kind of touched on by earlier callers, I knew I could just feel something was not right. And I was curious to see if you would let her go on to develop her understanding. But I felt like because she had her mask on, that intention of being able to be open and to respond with what you were trying to tell her was completely lost. So then as you were letting more time develop with her talking, when with someone with your just experience and sacrifice to gain your knowledge, and they're not understanding that, we all have triggers, everyone, and wasted time in a sense of not trying to hear you, just trying to speak would get on anyone's nerves. And so I think you handled it as best as you could. I didn't think it was bad, but we're in an era now where especially black men are tone police. That
tone
communicating
police.
with your mouth.
Wait, hold on, because I'm gonna need you I'm going to need you to break Tone Police down. That was big. C-Dub from Sacramento, hold tight. When we come forward, he's going to explain to us what the Tone Police are.
That was my. It's bumped up all.
Let me tell you something. Zoe Williams can be condescending. Zoe Williams can be glib. Zoe Williams can be snarky. Words can cut you. But that's not who Zoe Williams wants to be. Zoe Williams wants this platform to be an open platform where people can call in and share how they feel without judgment. Judgment is a type of ideological and psychological violence. I believe people can be traumatized by judgment, especially if it's critical, if it's negative. Do you understand what I'm saying? If it's not coming from a heart-centered space. Man, this is a tough world we live in, man. We're already judging ourselves. Well, all right, let me just get to the phone callers because they're them right now. Let's get BDS Colossal on the line real quick.
Uncle Zoe, what's happening?
Talk to me, man. Now, you know you're in Decatur, Alabama.
I know it. I know.
You be knowing,
I
but you be
first time.
you
I
be
slipped
cussing,
up.
though.
No, that was one time. You can't judge me by the first time, man. I did good last time. I did good last time,
Am
right?
I judging you?
Okay.
Or am I scared that you might do what you did? No,
You judging me off freak.
Go ahead,
I
brother.
get it.
All right,
I
go
did
ahead.
slip up before. Hey, so, man, wow, what a call. About the other night, man, it took a lot for me to understand what was really happening because I called in about an issue and ended up getting a whole another ordeal, which is kind of what, that's kind of what the Zoe show is about, Like you're gonna get the unexpected, but you're gonna get something raw, something organic, something you can't get everywhere. So as I'm receiving it, my first thoughts was, wow, is he judging me? And then I had to think about what judgment was and what you were saying and the place it came from, whether you was wrong or you was right. I had to take in consideration what you thought you knew. You mean?
Mm-hmm.
See, the only problem I had was I felt misunderstood. I didn't really feel judged. I just felt a little misunderstood. Because when I called in, I wasn't really trying to point the finger at nobody. I thought I was staying on a subject, and I didn't know the subject was myself. So it was kind of joke on me. Once I realized that, I couldn't even, couldn't trip on nothing. But to the woman, Keisha, man, it's one of them things, man. Uncle Zoe, you already know how it goes. You got to sugarcoat it for these women, man. Like they say, equal rights and treat them the same, but you can't talk to a woman how you would to the average person, how you would talk to a man. The delivery got to be a little softer. It just got to, man. Or you're going to always be combative. You're going to find yourself in a combative standpoint with a woman because they can't tolerate being talked to in a way that most men don't talk to them. Most men, like they say, happy wife, happy life. So most people treat women in a way or they ignore them. They're not used to getting that brutal honest, that Zoe, that Kevin Samuels, that just I'm honest. I'm here to help. I ain't here to kiss your butt, Like a lot of people don't get that. But I get it, man.
Hey, man.
I love it.
BDS Colossal, Decatur, Alabama. We appreciate the call,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
Anytime,
Appreciate
call
you.
in,
Always
man.
a pleasure.
Man.
Yes, sir.
All right. You got to be able to take it, I guess. Take at least the questioning, I guess. All right, let's get C-Dub from Sacramento, Sacktown in the building. What up, Sack?
What's up, Zoe?
Talk to me, man.
Yeah, so what I mean by tone policing is it goes both ways. And essentially what it means is that when you feel the conversation getting hot and heavy or the person saying something and they're more animated, when it gets to a cutoff point, you cut them off, miss what they're trying to talk to you in the way that they're trying to communicate to you. And then that kind of throws everything off, or the message gets lost because you push past my threshold for what I can take. So therefore, anything you have to say, I'm dismissing it. And so I think that's something that, especially with men and, even women too, it can be tough when you're really getting going, and especially when you're in a setting like your show where you're trying to help everyone.
So
you're putting your time out
But
Oh.
you saying something really heavy, bro. So can tone policing be bidirectional? Meaning, can it be negative, but can it also be positive? Can we talk about that?
Definitely, because that is through the perception of your past experiences when you're going through that form of communicating with your partner. So it can be viewed either way, depending on, the setting, the context of the conversation, what the mood was prior, and what they're able to understand up to that point of the conversation.
See, and this is why this is why I waited to bring you back in, because I knew this was going to go here, because I was taking some notes on it earlier. Let me just say, in neurolinguistic programming, there's something called mirroring. You can mirror somebody's behavior. They get aggressive, you get aggressive. You match their energy with your energy, right? That's called mirroring, right? But what I think now watch this. When you're in an argument with somebody, you can mirror the energy but not the content. Do you get what I'm saying? Their energy could be snarky, their energy could be whatever, and they could have words that match that snarky energy. But then you match their energy but not their content, which is, you don't get to talk to me like that on this channel. I could cut you off. I did let you talk. No, I'm not going to let you talk anymore. You see, it's the energy that I'm matching. You know what? You're not here to build. You're not here to. You get what I'm saying? You're not to grow. You're here to try to embarrass. You're here to try to have a moment. You're trying to go viral. I'm not. So here I'm matching your energy, but I'm not matching your content. What do you think of that, C-Dub? I knew you would like that. Talk to me, C-Dub.
So I'm a Scorpio, so that's why I agreed with you when you were at that point in the caller, because I'm like, man, I would have done the same thing, but in a calmed way, but the emotions get to you. But I agree with you, and I think, man, that's heavy, because the energy is what you're saying. Then based on that statement, is the energy more valuable than the message, since that's what we respond to more?
Come on, Scorpio. Come on. That's why you in here.
Or is that something, because this is something you wrote in your book too about relationship entropy and communication, how you relate to people through expressing of words, symbols. So I'm thinking that we are at a low vibrational frequency with how we communicate, and nuance requires a lot of energy to be able to take a lot of different perspectives and hold the space, so that way we don't hit our threshold so quickly and cut someone off with disrespect. And I hope I answered what you said earlier, but you just got me on that thought, which is why I said that.
Hey, brother C-Dub, thank you for bringing Sacramento, California into the building. We got to learn how to talk to each other differently. I got to match the energy. The energy is everything. It's not the content. Oh, man, this is great stuff. When we come back, we're going to talk to one of our favorite callers. Bowman from Grand Prairie, Texas is in the building when we come forward.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
across is to listen through your heart. Hurt people open up when they know the listener can empathize. Sometimes the greatest statement you'll ever make is through the ears of your heart. When somebody can look you in the eyes and know you are connected to their concern, connected to their need, it could change everything. It could change everything. And people don't understand, It's always about telling somebody something. Sometimes it's about being the ear that they never thought they deserved. How many of you are that person? Never thought you deserved a caring ear, a concerned ear, an empathetic ear. We need it. I need it. People call in and listen to me talk all the time. But sometimes I need to be heard. Sometimes I need that empathetic ear. I need a non-judgmental ear. And that's what this show is trying to provide for everyone. Bowman, Grand Prairie, Texas. Let's talk. You up against it, bro.
What it do?
You up against
I know
it.
it'll be very short. Trust me.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say is, Zoe, I think you handled it very well. And you got to understand sometimes there are people who feel there's no balance in their day-to-day life unless there's conflict. Now, I live in the Dallas, wherever it is, Dallas County, whatever, right? But we have this place called True Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember, a little year ago, there was these women who were constantly twerking and dancing on tables and going on. And the dude kept on approaching the table. He told him, hey,
I remember that.
stop. You know what I mean?
Yes, I remember
Then
that.
he had to get at him, right? So sometimes it's not about tone. Sometimes you have to get where people are at. And that's all I wanted to say.
Man, I appreciate it, Bowman. Always welcome to call in. Always, 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 man. Effective communication skills. We're going to talk about that when we come forward on the VOR.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Comes when I'm on the radio. Be honest about it. I'm not here to come across like somebody perfect. My best communication comes when I'm on the radio. When I'm off the radio, it's touch and go. It's touch and go. Sometimes I'm distracted, disconnected. I don't really listen. Man, it's touch and go. I done forgot more today than I did in the last 5 years. Okay? I'm not perfect. But when I'm on this video, I can promise you this. I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to ride you a little bit. I'm going to push, but I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to disrespect you. This is a non-judgment zone. And anything that I tell you is in advocacy of your soul. Because I've been through hell. And those flames transform you. You understand? Effective communication skills are observance without judgment, clarity and brevity, listening to comprehend, not to respond. You have to recognize when your emotional intelligence. See, if you say you can't, listen, I could talk to BDS a certain way, BDS Colossal out of Decatur, Alabama. I could talk to him because he's a man. I could talk to him a certain way, but I can't talk the exact same way to women. Something's wrong, right? There's emotional intelligence there. You don't get to talk to me like that. Well, if I'm in advocacy of your soul, and I mean you no harm, and you know that that is the nature of the show, why would you take it as I'm speaking in a condescending way or a disrespectful way when you know I'm trying to help you? Some people, like I said, project with their wounds. And if you're projecting with your wounds, if your ears contain the pain of your unhealed trauma, that means you're a spiritual child. You haven't grown up. You're still hurt. That's all that means. That's all. Self-confidence in your communication, respectfulness in your communication, right? Nonverbal communication, being able to pick up on cues, right? Providing constructive feedback, right? Many people don't even know how to convey a complete message, a precise message, a reliable message, a correct message, a clear message, right? A lot of people don't understand how to do that. Watch this. When was the last time? This is something not everybody says. When was the last time you observed yourself without judgment while you were communicating your feelings? So you're going to hear a lot of people say the same thing, but they ain't never said that. When was the last time you observed you without judgment while you were communicating your feelings? Up a notch. While you were communicating a hurt feeling. That's what this show's about. All right, great week. Love y'all. Appreciate everybody. I started another conversation. I need you to finish it. Please support all my work. Nothing but love here. You're not going to find no perfect dude here, but you will find perfect conversations on the VOR. When we come forward, you're going to get news. You're going to get Danny Morrison, the best of.